Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So, today I want to share about how the divine feminine has to come into her own completeness. This is such a normal and such a common theme among the divine feminines that they can feel incomplete without the masculine. They can feel like that if they don't have the masculine present around them, in some sense they are less, their experience of life is less, and in some sense they are incomplete. So many divine feminines can have other, situations present in their life through which they can be seeking completeness, such as they could have been seeking completeness through other, maybe their husbands or their wives or their families, their parents, their friend group, their job. It can be anything. The point is that if you distract yourself from your divine masculine, by indulging in other, connections and thinking that that is offering a sense of completeness to you, then ascension becomes very slow, and those situations will also challenge you to come into your own power. Anyway, anything which is outside of you will not fulfill you and will not make you feel complete. Your completeness is within you, and you have to learn to be complete in yourself. It is not easy because this is lifetimes worth of a feeling of incompleteness. It's not just coming from this life, it is coming from many lives. For many, many divine feminines, this could have happened that this continuation of this feeling of I am not enough in myself would be present. And this especially gets triggered, on the twin flame journey, because this is a journey where your counterpart wants you to heal this incompleteness. Nowhere are you incomplete in your life. As a life, when you are present in your body, God has created you in a complete way just within you. You are not, an incomplete version of anything. And always remembering that your counterpart's energy and presence is always next to you, um, as an outer manifestation of your inner masculine energy. All right. So this is very like important to understand that when you are on this journey, try to understand, and fall in love with the life that you are living right now. So one thing is, to live the life that we love, to create the life that, we want to create, but also to love the life, that you are living right now. How can you start loving that life more? And an important aspect of that is to try to root yourself into the present moment, completely being present with everything around you 100%. When you are watching the moon, for instance, that can be one way in which you can center yourself. Just being with the moon, just looking at the moon, looking at the various, um, you know, the various kinds of indentations that you can sort of make out, or the mountains that you can make out. The just being with the moon completely, looking at it, looking at the moonbeams, everywhere, looking at the sky, being completely with the sky when you're looking, or looking at the sunrise or the sunset and completely looking at it without a thought, not even the thought that this is beautiful. Even that invites in the mind, which tries to qualify something that we see, even to shut that thought down and just being with something, not being in your mind at all right. Another way can be of, just being in green grass. If you can go and you can just, walk barefoot and sit on the grass and just watching, the blade of the grass, watching the movement of wind, and connecting, with your breath is an excellent way to center yourself into the present moment as well, in a way where the mind is not interfering, where thoughts, if they come and go, you allow them to pass, but you don't indulge those thoughts. That is the way in which your completeness will hit you, and you will start to understand that you are not incomplete without the physical presence of your divine masculine, and you don't have to over obsess over them. Why do divine feminines over obsess over the divine masculine? A very simple reason for that is being in the mind, because in very deep meditative states, you can sense that you have no need for your counterpart. You can sense that connection that you have with yourself, with God, whatever you want to call it. Self is just a reflection of God. So I will not go into giving various examples of what God is and how you connect with God, but I've done that plenty before. So you understand that just connecting with that self, outwardly and inwardly, everywhere around you, will give you your realization of wholeness within you. And in deep states, you can actually observe how the thought arises. The thought will arise, but what about my twin flames? The thought will arise about a divine masculine. And when you are in these deep states, you can observe that thought, and you can choose to just let that thought go, instead of letting that thought now controlling your life, that my divine masculine is not talking or is not around, or that has happened, or what will happen in the future. Okay, that is all the anxiety and the overactivity of the mind, from which you could take a break if you want to. The mind is not meant to rule your life. That is what the point of this journey is. It's to release the mind. When we do any kind of shadow work, we are basically trying to create space, for the energy to rise. When we are trying to just understand who we are, all right, and understand that we are not limited by the limiting thought patterns and beliefs that control our life. So it's very important that along with the deep shadow work that twin flames do on this journey, they inculcate an awareness of the present moment. And in fact, that is a very profound way to exist if you can maintain that and stretch that presence throughout the day. I know it is hard and there will be slip ups for sure, but that can be your intent, and you can ask for support from your guides, that please support me in staying in the present moment. Please show me and let me feel the completeness of my life all the time for the rest of my life. I now want to feel complete in myself, because the pattern of feeling incomplete, the pattern of feeling codependent, of giving my power away, of judging other people or being judged, and of looking at everything from that sense of and state of agitation or anxiety or control, especially the control of I want to control everything so that it goes well. Please give me some relief from that. Help me to come into my present moment awareness and stay in it for the rest of my life. And help me, show me the practices and show me the ways in which I can sustain this. All right? This will go a long way. And then surrender this to your guides or to any higher power that you're connecting with. And trust that this will come to you. Many people have problems with trust. I don't trust my spirit guides. I don't trust the divine. I don't trust God. I don't trust my divine masculine. I don't trust my higher self. I don't know what all of that is. I don't trust any, divine intervention to ever happen. That is a very, that is a way where you've really just allowed ego to, sort of rule your life. And that is not going to help you, because it is ego which creates this separation from divinity and various aspects of divinity that we connect with to have help in our life, right? It's the ego which makes you feel like you're separate, you're alone. It's the ego that makes you sad in that separateness. It's actually very profound. I mean, even, it's just a matter of identification. If you can really think about it, when somebody is very sad or they are depressed, the whole thing is that they start to believe that they are the mind, and they start to believe the stories of the mind, what the mind creates, that I am alone and I am a burden, or all of that, that sad people or depressed people can actually feel. But the point is that if they can disconnect from the mind, and it takes some prior work, of course, for having been done, or they have an intervention, where they are able to sort of separate from the mind, they will start to see that it's the mind that has created this separation, that they are not separate from the people around them, or people around them want to love them, and life loves them. Life loves all of us. We feel like we are not loved by life, but it could come from, a childhood problem, especially if you were not loved as a child the way you needed to be loved. This was one of my major problems, and always feeling disconnected with life around me. So this is a very important thing that you look into, and you understand that life around me loves me and wants me, and I am an important contributor to life, and I am an important part of life. In environmental sciences, many of you who would have studied it would understand how biodiversity is talked up a lot. So there are some biodiversity hotspots, and people are, the environmental organizations and unions and countries are so intent on saving those biodiversity hotspots where there is a certain uniqueness of biodiversity which is present, which is not seen anywhere else. The variety is a lot. The number of plants are a lot many. Maybe new plants are there which haven't yet been discovered. Many species exist in a small area. It can be very unique things that actually happen here, and the entire effort is to preserve these areas, from environmental degradation or economic exploitation, or over exploitative tourism and all of that, so that these areas maintain their biodiversity, maintain the sensitivity. So when human beings can recognize the sensitivity of nature and value that and understand that, how diversity is adding something very important and crucial to life on earth, we have to start recognizing that within human beings as well, that every human being in itself is so unique and so different from everyone, and yet has a complete and a beautiful purpose of their own. And to value that individual life is important, but sometimes it is not done by society. We are thrown into schools, or we could be growing in families where we would not have had the amount of attention that we needed, and that could have resulted in a sense of disconnect from everything, and thinking that you are not valuable. And with your twin flame journey, now to think I'm incomplete without this person, that is a fallacy that you have to overcome. If you are still thinking that I am incomplete, I am less, or I don't have him, so I don't know what to do, and I am helplessly just waiting, then this is going to be a very long drawn out process for you, which can take a long time and which will be very draining, and it's unfair to your life which is present inside of you. You're right now in your body, that's why you're listening to me. Is there no significance of this body? Is there no significance to your life just the way you are? Come into your own power and not just feel the significance, but feel the power of your life. Feel the power that you embody as a life, as just a complete human being in yourself. All right? Automatically, to be in the present moment, energies have to be balanced. And try to balance your energies. Come into, those that balanced state, and connect with the divine. And like what I shared, seeing various aspects of nature, completely being with them, being alone, and being in a quiet place. If you can find quieter places that you can go to just be by yourself, which are not crowded, which don't have people around. If you can just be there alone completely, not a single person around, spend like a few days in that aloneness and fall in love with yourself. This is very important for your twin flame journey, because it's not about fostering any kind of a codependence on your masculine. It's not about chasing that energy and thinking that is my fix. It's not a drug that you need. You are complete in yourself, and your divine masculine is never apart from you either, right? So, but this is about reveling in your completeness, allowing that completeness to show itself to you. When you are not able to see and feel that completeness, it is because you are in the mind. And this is why I shared the techniques through which you can disconnect from the mind. Simply focus on your breath. Simply look outside and be in nature. Simply watch the sky. Simply watch the sun, watch the moon, watch plants, and be by yourself with not a single person around. When you go to a park or something, try to go in hours when you can be alone, or take a holiday on the weekend, drive down to a place where you can be by yourself, the nearest mountains, the nearest river or beach, wherever you live. But going to places where not a single person is in sight, it's you and it's nature. If you can, start to live like that, your mind will have a break, because constantly mind is interacting through body language, even if not verbally, with other human beings which are present. You're noticing what other human being comes, you're noticing their energy. Unconsciously, it's all happening. You're assessing your safety, security in those situations. So just be by yourself, and that will take you deeper into self-love. It is very crucial, it is very important that you do this, and you realize, your own divinity which is present inside of you. It's more than subconscious work. It's very, very important to know that your presence in the present moment is very important for you on this journey. So, this is all I felt like sharing with you all today. And if you feel guided to book a one-on-one session, my email address is imacompletelife@gmail.com. Between the 2nd of October and about 24th, 25th of October, I'm not going to be doing any one-on-one sessions, and I may not be able to respond to your emails on time, but I will get back to you when I'm able to. And you can still write to me, to book your sessions in the last week of October and onwards from that. So, guys, have a beautiful, wonderful day. Take care. Sending you lots of love. Bye.